Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something we all rely on but rarely think about, the unseen infrastructure of our daily lives. We're looking at a true pioneer who operated completely behind the scenes to build the science of survival for an entire nation. Her name? Anna Mani, often called the Weather Woman of India. It's a fascinating look at how invisible, foundational work literally shapes modern society. So let's start here. Have you ever wondered who actually protects our skies and our shores? I mean, we all wake up, we check our phones for the weather, and we just go about our day, right? We totally take for granted the massive invisible safety nets that predict cyclones, monitor the seas, and keep the skies secure. But we rarely stop to think about who actually built the tools making those predictions possible in the first place. Well, the answer leads us directly to one extraordinary woman whose absolute dedication transformed an entire scientific field and built India's meteorological safety net literally from the ground up. Okay, let's dive into this and look at the daily impact of accurate weather data, just to set the stakes here. Because this isn't just about knowing if you need an umbrella on your way to work. We're talking about farmers who completely rely on accurate forecasts to decide exactly when to sow their crops. We're talking about fishermen whose very lives depend on warnings about rough seas before they ever leave the shore. Then you've got pilots planning safe flight routes and disaster management teams who need crucial, down-to-the-minute lead time to prepare for cyclones. The stakes are, quite literally, life and death. And Anna Mani, she made sure those stakes were met with absolute precision. So who was she? Well, born in 1918 in Piramadu, Kerala, to a civil engineer and a homemaker, Anna Mani was, well, she was not your average child. To give you an idea, while typical 8th birthday gifts might have been toys or jewelry, Anna requested something entirely different. She asked for a complete set of encyclopedias. No joke. By the time she was a teenager, she'd already devoured hundreds of books. Her insatiable curiosity meant she was already building this incredible foundational knowledge that would, eventually, change a nation. Let's trace how that curiosity evolved over time. After growing up in Kerala, she went on to earn a physics degree from Presidency College in Madras, totally acing her classes. And that raw talent propelled her to the prestigious Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore in the 1940s. Get this, she actually worked directly under Nobel Prize winner Sir C.V. Raman. While she was there, she carried out some highly technical research on the optical properties of diamonds and rubies. It's fascinating stuff. And this trajectory ultimately led her to join the India Meteorological Department in Pune in 1948. But right as she was gaining momentum, a massive hurdle stood in her way. Which brings us to the missing PhD. Despite fulfilling all the rigorous research requirements, the academic rules of that era outright denied her a doctorate degree. Why? Simply because of systemic barriers facing women in science at the time. It was a massive institutional failure for sure. But the reason we're talking about this isn't to dwell on a tragedy. Actually, it's to understand her character, because she didn't let this end her story. Instead, it became a catalyst. Rather than getting bogged down or discouraged, Anna Mani pivoted. She took all that brilliant scientific knowledge and aimed it toward an entirely new, incredibly practical direction. And that pivot led her directly to the concept of self-reliance. After heading to Britain for some specialized training, she returned and joined the India Meteorological Department in Pune in 1948. And almost immediately, she noticed a massive vulnerability. India was almost entirely dependent on imported weather instruments. She believed, passionately, that the country needed the capacity to rely on its own resources, to produce these highly technical, necessary tools domestically rather than just shipping them in. And she decided right then and there to make that happen. 100. Okay, that isn't just a random statistic. That number represents the sheer scale of Anna Mani's capability. She systematically led the development and standardization of nearly 100 different weather instruments. I mean, just imagine the logistics of that. The scientific precision, the sheer force of will required to design, test, and standardize 100 unique pieces of equipment from scratch, all to ensure that an entire nation could finally begin manufacturing them domestically. It's just mind-blowing. So what exactly were these 100 tools? Well, they included critical instruments like rain gauges, wind speed meters, solar radiation instruments, and even highly complex ozone measuring devices. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter to you and me? Because these specific, domestically manufactured tools directly caused a massive leap in the quality and accuracy of weather observations across the entire country.
Those incredibly accurate forecasts that farmers and pilots rely on today, the ones we talked about earlier, they are built squarely on the back of these foundational instruments she designed.
But, you don't just stop at rain gauges when you have a mind like Anna Mani's. Her foundational meteorological tools organically expanded to support entirely new national initiatives. It's like a domino effect. After standardizing the foundational tools, she went on to set up nationwide solar and wind measuring networks. And incredibly, her tools and her data soon became the security backbone for India's space launches. So she wasn't just predicting the weather anymore. She was quite literally charting the course for the country's technological future.
The sheer breadth of her impact across so many different sectors is honestly surprising. For instance, in renewable energy, she provided the exact data that supported India's solar energy programs and identified the best locations for wind power generation. In environmental science, her pioneering ozone measurements were a massive, massive contribution to global climate research. And, no way, she even played a vital role in the space program. She set up meteorological facilities for the Thumba rocket launching station, ensuring completely reliable weather info for rocket launches. She was laying the groundwork for India's renewable and space sectors long before they became the global powerhouses they are today.
Now, her legacy of well-deserved recognition largely came a bit later in life. She officially retired in 1976 as the Deputy Director General of the India Meteorological Department, but she remained super active in scientific research for years after that. In 1987, she was awarded the prestigious K.R. Ramanathan Medal for her outstanding contributions to atmospheric science. And while she passed away in 2001, her story gained a massive, well-deserved global spotlight in 2022. Google actually honored her with a special doodle introducing her incredible achievements to millions of people all around the world. Which brings us to a quote that perfectly summarizes her life's philosophy. True success comes from working quietly with dedication for the benefit of society. Anna Mani proved that passion, knowledge, and pure determination can literally change a nation. She broke through massive systemic barriers in science at a time when very few women even entered the field. She didn't seek out the spotlight. She simply sought to build a stronger, safer, and completely self-reliant India. And that leaves us with one final powerful question to consider today. What kind of quiet foundational work can you do today that will protect society's future? Anna Mani's legacy lives on in every weather station, every climate research project, and every renewable energy initiative in India. It is such a great reminder that the most vital infrastructure in our world is so often built by those who work diligently behind the scenes. Let her remarkable self-reliance and boundless curiosity inspire how you approach your own life and work. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.